my end.
First, I would like to apologize for the delays. So, without getting any delays, let's start our session. Nature is alive and talking to us. She's asking us to conserve it for our unborns. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. With my great pleasure, I welcome you all to another extravagant segment of Voice for Unborns webinar series 2021 of Earthmates Foundation. I'm Dina Benz and I'll be your host tonight. In this estimable evening, we have a collaborative event by Earthmates Foundation and American Corner Martyr on bamboo and its many forms in the fight against climate change. First and foremost, I would like to brief Earthmates Foundation to you all. As Earthmates, our vision is to envision a green nation empowered to ensure our natural resources, foster a sustainable future, is to envision and restore and enhance environmental quality towards public health and foster integrity for present and unborn generalization. Our main intention is to raise the awareness and inspire the community to increase the capacity of each other on environmental protection, to protect natural sources, to make creative solutions to environmental issues, and to bring about transformation towards sustainability. Next, I'm profusely elated to introduce you the collaborative part of today's session, American Corner Martyr. The American Spaces of Sri Lanka and American Corner Martyr are a place for discovery, collaboration, and connection. They are functioning as resource centers to the public and more specifically for the youth and equipped with the audiovisual products, modern technology, as well as books and periodicals. American Spaces and American Corner Martyr are partnering with the US Embassy, American and local organizations to host innovative programs that are free and open to the public, such as English, ICT, entrepreneurship training courses, interactive panel discussions, film screening, workshops, exhibits, and virtual conference programs with the focus of empowering livelihoods. Now, it's time to hand over the session to our speaker of today. Before that, I would like to pay my heartiest gratitude to the Earthmates Foundation and American Corner Martyr for the immense collaboration. In addition to that, I would like to be grateful for the Vice President of Earthmates Foundation, Manori Pereira, for inviting such a great personality as the speaker tonight and coordinating the event. Speaker of the day, Engineer Vikum Rodrigo, is a civil engineer by profession, working at Barbarian Engineering, where he overlooked the design and construction of a 55-room Ayurveda resort in Valigama. Incorporation of sustainable design elements at the resort has been recognized and was accredited with the platinum rating by the Green Building Council of Sri Lanka recently. He completed his Bachelor of Engineering at the University of Nottingham in 2012 and since has been exploring sustainable alternatives for the construction industry, which is one of the biggest polluters of our environment. In order to promote the cause, he has founded One Among Trees, an environmentally conscious enterprise with the goal to collaborate with partners with a similar vision and set of values. A medicinal plant cultivation project was initiated in 2016 with the help of Sarvodaya, where One Among Trees and Barbarian Resorts experimented permaculture practices in the dry zones of Sri Lanka. Recognizing the value of bamboo that can transform the construction industry, on the 18th of September 2020, World Bamboo Day, an awareness program was conducted about the many different uses of bamboo. Different varieties of bamboo were planted in the interiors of Kalutara district and plants were distributed to rural smallholder farmers too. His interests are in sustainable use of natural fibers, irrigation systems, and water treatment technologies. In addition to that, We should not forget to mention that he is a patron of National Board of Earthmates Foundation. So without any further delays, Speaker of the Day, Engineer Vikram Rodrigo, I'm privileged to invite you to share your valuable impressions with us on bamboo and its many forms in the fight against climate change. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Reena. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to thank the Earthmates organization and the American Corner for organizing this webinar series and inviting me to talk about a subject that is very close to my heart and that I'm very interested in. And hopefully many of y'all are also interested in this. And the topic is bamboo. So I would like to quickly tell you what we would like to talk about, what we are planning to talk about today. I will start with a brief introduction about bamboo and different types of bamboos and kind of like a very basic idea about bamboo. We are not going to go very technical about it. And then we will talk about bamboo and climate change in the sense how can bamboo actually play an active role in the fight against climate change, and how bamboo is being used in different parts of the world. Bamboo in Sri Lanka is another topic that we would like to discuss, how it's perceived in Sri Lanka. And then I thought it would be useful to share some of the resources that I have come across and some of the personalities who are working closely with bamboo. And also the different possibilities and the action points that we can really take when it comes to bamboo and kind of creating an industry. Because it's always good to kind of dream as well. And at the same time, even though sometimes it may be a little bit difficult to comprehend initially, as you go along, there's, momentum gathers and then some great things can happen. And we will look at some of the great things that's happening around the world and, what's happening around Sri Lanka as well. And yeah, so I will share the screen now so that you can. I hope all of y'all can see this. So bamboo is a perennial evergreen that belongs to the grass family. It's actually not a tree. It's just like any other type of grass if you really think of it, because the rhizome structure of the roots and technically falls under that. So bamboo is, and just like any other types of grass, bamboo grows really fast. And it is one of the fastest growing plants in the world. And in fact, it grows close to a meter or like 90 centimeters a day. The highest daily growth rate is 90 centimeters. So imagine that. It's one of the fastest growing plants in the world. So it definitely has that regenerative capacity. And just like grass, if you cut it, it has the capacity to regenerate, in the sense, just because you cut one pole or two poles doesn't mean the plant is going to die. It's not a tree. You cut the pole and there's more shoots coming up every year. It just keeps coming. So in that sense, bamboo is something that's regenerative, self-regenerative. So that is something very good about it. And as I said, it's really fast growing. And apart from that, if you look at it, some of the varieties like Dendrocalamus zasper, Dendrocalamus giganteus, and even certain types like Mozo bamboo that's in Japan and China, these plants tend to grow to a maximum height of about 25 meters in 3 to 5 years time. So I can't think of another plant that grows that fast and that's regenerative. Also, in terms of the diameter, it grows to not like the usual Bambusa vulgaris that we see in Sri Lanka very much. There are certain different varieties. As you can see in the picture right now, this is actually from just outside of Kyoto. There's a bamboo forest. And this definitely must be one of those Mozo bamboo varieties. It grows really wild in certain areas. So it is, and as you can see, it's quite big. You can see it later as well. I can show you a few more. There's a bigger diameter, and you can use it as construction material. You can use it as a lot of things, which we will come to later. There is actually, it grows mainly in the tropics, the tropical region of the world. So Sri Lanka, it's a perfect climate. If you look at most of Asia, actually, in fact, bamboo grows really well. And even Central America, there's bamboo growing quite a lot. So if you look at it from a climate change point of view, so one of the biggest, resource, most of the resources that we are trying to harness is used in mostly for the benefit of human beings. So the highest density of populations are usually around the tropics. So if we can create material that is very much made out of bamboo, then we can reduce our dependency on things like cement and steel, which actually take a lot of cement, steel, glass. I'm not saying we can't completely eliminate them, but if we can reduce the dependency on them and dependency on other types of timber, we can really reduce the burden on the environment. If you look at, just to kind of give a idea of like the different varieties of bamboo, I just quickly shared a few, but there are two main different varieties that I would like to talk about. So there's the most special thing about bamboo is actually its root system. Not only that, bamboo has a lot of things special about it, but one of the main things is that the rhizome root structure it has. And we can kind of differentiate two different types mainly. One is clumping bamboo and the other one is running bamboo, as you can see in the picture. So the clumping bamboo, if you look at plants like varieties like Dendrocalamus asper and Dendrocalamus giganteus, these are clumping bamboos. So it doesn't, it doesn't grow, it doesn't distribute over a long area or like a large area. Whereas the running bamboo is a little bit more different. As you can see in the earlier picture, these varieties, this is definitely a running bamboo. It grows over a long area and it has that capacity to kind of grow really fast in a bigger area. So in fact, there is this kind of like a little bit of we need to be conscious of the fact that it can be invasive, running bamboo. So there are ways to kind of manage them, obviously. These types of different types of roots and different types of bamboos, bamboo varieties. Even the running bamboo can be controlled with proper management. Even so, if you look at countries like China and Japan, these running bamboos have been there for ages, and even North India, it has been there for a really long time. I would also like to we will mainly talk about, of course, types of bamboos that's used in timber mainly, because when it comes to climate change, I personally feel that, instead of talking about ornamental type of bamboos and all, will not really make sense. And anyway, I think bamboo is just, more than just a pretty face. So there's a lot more to it. So, and this is actually, as you can see, a giant bamboo and a pretty face hugging a giant bamboo. She's very happy to kind of, see the bamboo and be in its presence. So actually, so this particular variety is what's being used mostly for timber. This and the Moso bamboo, but it looks similar, but the distribution is different. And if you look at it in terms of the users in different parts of the world, as an industry, it's mostly in China and Japan there's a big industry, and not only an industry, there's a big culture. So it's used in the food, and the bamboo shoots are edible, and you can, they consume that. And even in North India, I have heard that the edible shoots are cooked and made into curries and things like that. So it has an agroforestry kind of an angle to it as well. So if you look at in terms of, as I said, the industry, China has a big industry when it comes to bamboo. They make engineered bamboo as well. They have very much of a, I think right now the biggest player is definitely China. But if you look at even countries like Japan, they have even in their culture, they've been using it for a long time. And they used to make bamboo paper for a really long time. So most of, even if you look at the ancient scriptures in China and Japan, have been written in bamboo, kind of different bamboo slides, they call it. But of course, now they have improved it, and you can make paper out of it, bamboo paper. And there's a big industry over there. And if you look at it from a kind of like a forestry solution, one of the main things is that it has the ability to retain soil. And I will quickly show you a little bit more of, before, let me see. So yeah, as I said, bamboo can retain the soil, and because of that, because of its root structure, so it is used quite a lot in places where there are landslides. And you can see, as you can see now, this is in Kenya. They have used this landslide area, and they have now started using bamboo as a solution to landslides, because of its root structure, as I was talking about. And if you look at this in Africa, so Africa is obviously, as you know, one of the fastest growing regions in the world right now as well. And they have invested, Congo government has invested so much in the bamboo industry recently. And not only that, all over Africa, if you look at Kenya, they have been doing a lot of investments in the bamboo industry as well, because they have understood the importance of it. So I will quickly show you a small video that I thought was pretty interesting. I hope you can see this.
So I'm afraid we can't see the video. We can only see the folder with videos.
I'm sorry?
We can't see the video, only the folder with videos is
okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let me put it back. Let me. Can you see it?
Yes, so now we can see it.
Okay.
reason why we use bamboo to manufacture bicycles is it's found abundant in Ghana, and this is not a material we're going to import. It's a new innovation. There wasn't existing bamboo bike builders in our country, so we were the first people trying to see how best we can utilize the abundant bamboo in Ghana. I love the idea of reusing bamboo to promote sustainable cycling. People want to go green, low carbon, lean, energy efficient.
So as you can see in Ghana and not in many different parts of the world, now they are looking at bamboo as a raw material to make things like bicycles. But not only bicycles, I'm pretty sure you would have easily seen now it's very, very common that you see bamboo toothbrushes and bamboo utensils like forks and spoons, to water bottles, and even I just read that there is a company that is producing shoes out of bamboo, like bamboo fibers. So if you look at this bamboo fiber, it's a very interesting, it's very interesting to study about these bamboo fibers, because even for paper making, it's used quite a lot. And there's this one gentleman in Japan, Junpei Kanazashi. He's a traditional paper maker, and for him, this paper making is an art. And I thought, he was lucky enough to meet him, and he was explaining how the process is and what a good material bamboo is for paper making. Of course, there's hemp that is the best for paper making, but bamboo is a very close second, I would say. So in terms of bamboo changing in terms of our day-to-day things, otherwise you would have to kind of imagine how many trees have to be cut down just for our paper, and how much paper we use daily and not only paper, for packaging, things like packaging, how much we use, and all of that can be reduced if we kind of shift to bamboo. And daily things that we use in our day-to-day lives, like toothbrushes, to water bottles, to things like that. So many things can be done. And not only that, I would like to show another video of another organization that's making some extraordinary bamboo furniture. Because if you look at it, we all love timber, even though we don't like to cut down trees. We like the texture of it. We like it to use it in different interiors, even for doors and windows, to making beautiful chairs, to tables, everything. Because timber is actually quite a versatile material. So thing is, timber hasn't been very popular previously because of the difficulties in preservative, because of termite issues that was there. But of course now with technology and with different research, they have come across very advanced preservative methods, and you can do magical things with bamboo, in fact. So I will quickly show you a few more things in terms of bamboo that, some of the magical things, at least for me, that really I find very interesting. So this is actually in China. This is the Inba Pavilion. So this is, as you can see, all the beams are made out of bamboo. So there's a not to, the interesting thing is that there's a huge load on the roof itself, because there's a they have thought, okay, let's just take it to the limit, and they have put a rooftop garden into it as well. So there's a much not just the roofing panels or the roofing material. There's a load on top of it to make it even more. There's to put even bigger weight on it. So as you can see, they have done a beautiful structure using bamboo, and it's very much sustainable in the sense most of the things that's used will be able to it will be definitely grow back in 5 to 10 years time. If it's done sustainably, which is actually quite easy compared with when you compare it with other forms of timber that's being harvested and farmed. So this is in China. As I said, there's a big culture. I would like to show you another group that is doing some amazing things in Indonesia. So Indonesia, Philippines, Vietnam, these countries also have a very strong bamboo culture. And in Indonesia, in fact, there is this, in Bali, they have developed a very interesting place in Ubud, if I'm not mistaken. I hope you can see the video. Just let me know if you've done. Okay. So this is actually in Bali. It's a school. It's called Green School in Bali. It's a very interesting place, not only for its architecture and the construction itself. It was awarded as the greenest school in the world by the US Green Building Council, in fact. Just to kind of show you a little bit more of the furniture that they have, so that you can get a much better idea. I hope you can see this. So all of it is made out of bamboo, as you can see, from the chair to the table to the structure itself. As you can see here, the columns are made out of bamboo, the beams are made out of bamboo, and most of the tables and chairs are also made out of bamboo, in fact. The flooring is also made out of bamboo. And not only that, there is no compromise in the beauty of beauty and aesthetics as well. In fact, you can do quite a lot more because of the ability, the tensile ability of bamboo you can make a lot more creative designs than traditional methods. So these are some of the furniture and the interiors that you can see. Yeah, so in terms of bamboo usage in the construction industry as well, you can see, as you can see, the potential, there is great potential in terms of the different uses of bamboo. I would like to show you a little bit more about, also touch upon how it's used in Sri Lanka. In Sri Lanka, mostly traditional craftsmen have been using bamboo. They have been using it to create arts and crafts and things like that. And it was used as in the construction industry, but it hasn't been used in the construction industry. It's mostly as scaffolding they have used it, not really as a construction material. And UNIDO has been really trying to improve and create awareness regarding these kind of programs. They have actually made a facility, a bamboo processing facility in Katubedda. So hopefully there is a bit of traction going on. And in terms of the bamboo, promoting bamboo, there was this project called Riverine Bamboo Project. Mrs. Shanta Ramanayaka is the lady who was actually mainly working on that project, and she has kind of done a lot of research, and she has a lot of passion for bamboo as well, and she knows a lot about propagation of bamboo tissue culture, and so they have started a tissue culture facility in Sri Lanka. They have different varieties, and now, of course, it's with Mahaweli Authority, and she is not working with them anymore. But Mahaweli Authority is progressing with that project, I hope. So if you want to get bamboo, there is the possibility of reaching out to these people in Sri Lanka as well. Sri Lanka, of course, you don't get Mozo bamboo or any. You don't get Mozo bamboo, but you get Dendrocalamus asper, Dendrocalamus giganteus. These kind of varieties, you can find it very much in places like Pilimatala, Mavananda area, you can find it. So there are a lot of private organizations that have really tried to put their hand up and kind of work to promote these use of bamboo. And I have met quite a few individuals who are working independently, working on tissue culture projects and trying to bring down good varieties, because one of the biggest problems is not having the right variety abundantly in Sri Lanka. So this is what, hopefully, if we can address this issue, it can really make a big change. Also, if you look at it in places like Indonesia, there are, so the lady who actually really transformed it, Linda Garland, she and her son, through an Environmental Bamboo Foundation, they had started something called 1,000 Bamboo Villages, where they try to promote bamboo cultivation in smallholder cultivation and with buyback agreements, and doing it in a very sustainable manner. And he has written a book. It's more like a Bible, actually. It's the Bamboo Bible, in fact. So it has everything you need in terms of developing a bamboo cultivation in a very socio-economic, sustainable socio-economic way, how to approach it and what kind of conditions you need to have to go with it. So also recently we met another group actually called Una Bamboo. they're very interesting couple from France and Ireland. So they are actually building the first bamboo eco hotel in Ahmedabad, and it's an ongoing project. And so it will be the first of its kind in the sense you see this in Bali and places like that. But of course, for Sri Lanka, it will be a new experience because they are the first to go at it, and because it will change the perception of bamboo. Because right now, all the engineers and architects somewhat reluctant to use bamboo because of its bad name, at least in Sri Lanka, because we don't have the proper processing facilities to preserve it and whatnot. So Una Bamboo is trying to address that, and One Among Trees, as One Among Trees, we are working closely with Una Bamboo as well. And I'd like to just show a small kind of like a design of what they're trying to build as well. It's a beautiful design, and they are working with some really good, amazing architectural firm as well, world-renowned architectural firm. So they are, in fact, right now in the process of harvesting bamboo and treating bamboo and the entire process. So if you all are interested in really, if any of you are interested in really getting involved and helping out, there is that possibility right now, because if you're in the regions where there's a lot of these giant bamboo or like Dendrocalamus asper varieties, you can help them out and with that, and also learn as well, because they're planning to do programs like that. So if you want to kind of, I'm pretty sure if you'd like to know a little bit more and kind of if you haven't seen the bamboo varieties, one place I would recommend is the Peradeniya Gardens. Botanical Gardens has a interesting collection of bamboo there. So you can go there and have a look if you haven't seen these varieties. And they have some of the native varieties as well, local varieties. And of course, if you go on the way towards Peradeniya, Pilimatala, Mavanella, that area on the riverbeds, you can see that. So as I said earlier, the Bamboo Riverine project that was done by the Mahaveli Authority. So some of its results, you can see it now, because they have kind of like, you can see them, the proper varieties. And I'm actually quite interested to kind of promote this and kind of like see how we can improve this industry. And of course, like, having events like this is very important, because we have the opportunity to kind of discuss and become a lot more aware about bamboo, as well as, knowing that a lot of people who are interested in bamboo, that helps, because we had a small event last year for the World Bamboo Day. And at the time we were just, we had no clue who else is working on bamboo. And we did a small video of that, which I will share with you as well. So it's nothing much, just that we mainly had a few friends working on it. So most of our friends came down. And what we tried to do is we tried to plant bamboo in the wet zone or in the Kalutara district.
Oh.
So bamboo grows really well in marshy lands. So there are a lot of marshy lands in the Kalutara district and the southern district, southern province, and the Kalutara district as well. So what we want to do is promote these kind of, Dendrocalamus asper and Dendrocalamus giganteus and varieties like that in the southern province as well. So it's easily accessible. And we would definitely love to get you involved as well, if you're interested.
observing that.
Bamboo is not a very difficult plant. Like it's, I would say, a low maintenance plant. It's not very difficult to grow. Only thing is that initially, first few weeks, maybe once the plant grows in the first few months, and when the root structure gets properly settled in, there's not a lot of maintenance, in fact. So as I said, bamboo is, not a, I mean, planting bamboo has many advantages, no matter which part of Sri Lanka you're in, or like which part of the tropics you're in, because it can not only the timber variety, not only as a timber, as part of the environment itself, the soil development aspect is also very much there. I would like to share some of the people and organizations that are working on bamboo as well. So there's the main organization that I have come across is the INBA organization, which is International Bamboo and Rattan Organization. So they are very much like the main body who's working to promote bamboo around the world. I'm assuming they're based in China, I'm assuming, but not very sure. And then there is Ibuku, Green School, and Bamboo. So this gentleman on the top left corner is John Hardy and his daughter Elora on the right side. And John Hardy started the Green School concept, and which you saw earlier. And his daughter started Ibuku and continuing the great work and designing amazing facilities, furniture, and things, or everything in general, in fact. But actually the lady in the bottom left, she is Linda Garland. So she is actually the pioneer and the person who inspired John Hardy in Bali. So she, in fact, introduced the treatment facility to John Hardy as well. And she started the Environmental Bamboo Foundation. And her son is on to the right. He is Arif Rabi. He's continuing the work that her mother had started. And he actually had started a program where he's organizing 1,000 bamboo villagers in Indonesia, which is a great project. So with that, I would like to talk about, before we wrap up, I'd like to talk about what kind of possibilities are there for us in terms of bamboo and what kind of actions we can really take. So in terms of possibilities, sustainable smallholder bamboo cultivation is something that can be done quite easily. And of course, we need to work together with the government sector as well. But in terms of, it doesn't require a lot of land per se if it's smallholder bamboo cultivation. And it doesn't create any monoculture practices, which is again not very good thing. Even if you're doing bamboo, monoculture is not something that's advisable. So sustainable smallholder bamboo cultivation is something we can easily start as a country. I mean, in Sri Lanka, we can easily start it. And then there is, of course, the engineered bamboo timber production that I would like to talk about. So if we can have the right facilities to kind of process bamboo at the right and have a sustainable harvesting mechanism and work on the permit system that's there right now, because that is something that needs to be adjusted a little bit. If it can be adjusted to accommodate sustainable harvesting of bamboo, I think engineered bamboo timber production can really ease the burden on natural forests for timber harvesting, which is something that is, as you know now, we tend to see more and more, and that's disturbing us quite a lot. Not only us, a lot more to the environment, a lot more, which in fact will have a negative impact on all of us. So as I said, bamboo, because of its renewable nature, it can be used as a fuel as well. Especially in rural areas, it would make a really good, it is already being used as a fuel in India and China, places like that. And also then you can, if we do have like the proper bamboo production facilities, we can look at going into bamboo-based industries. Things like making bamboo toothbrushes to bamboo water bottles, bamboo bicycles, all of that is possible. And all of those are beautiful, sustainable industries that we can get involved in that will reduce the our footprint on the environment and reduce our carbon footprint very much. That will not only create jobs for most of the people in the country, it will reduce our foreign, our currency, our economy also. It will kind of have a very positive impact, creating a lot of jobs as well. So these are some of the possibilities and things that we can really do. And in terms of taking more concrete actions, I guess something that we can start with is kind of creating a getting together to discuss about this a lot more. So this is, I think, a really good step in that right direction. If we can create like a association that already, that can really push the government also to change or look at this a little bit more. And even without the government, we can do it if there is enough, people behind this particular cause. And I am very much interested in working on this. And I think there are a lot of people who are interested. And from what I can gather, there must be a lot of people here today itself. So if you're interested in bamboo and if it's something that you're passionate about, I would definitely recommend you to kind of get in touch with us. One Among Trees is an organization that we started to address things like this, mainly because it's easy to kind of complain about things. But it really does nothing much. But if we can get together and kind of work towards a particular goal, we can get a lot more things done. I would like to finish up with, if you have any questions, I'd like to kind of open up as well. If you want to ask in the chat, that is also an option. If not, even you can ask a question. I'm assuming, Dina, that is fine.
Yes, sir. After such a wonderful session about bamboos and improve the sustainability about bamboos, I think you may have some questions or problems regarding the session because bamboo is something new for me and maybe for you. So now the floor is yours for the Q&A session. If you have any doubts about bamboo and sustainability, you can clarify those. Over to you.
So we have a question. Can the native bamboo plants be used as opposed to foreign variants? Unfortunately, the native bamboo we have cannot be used for timber. It's not the best alternative, as in it's not the best variety because it doesn't have the necessary characteristics. And in terms of the foreign variants, it also doesn't have a, as I said, if you are using a clumping bamboo, like Dendrocalamus asper, it will not have this invasive nature. And it's already grown in Sri Lanka. So that is actually, it will not have it will be a great alternative. But to answer you, the native bamboo plants are not the best for construction, but it can be used for things like handicrafts and things like that. It's already being used quite a lot. So not only that, in fact, the native varieties, they are using, I heard from one of the professors in the KDU University, he was saying that they're doing kind of research on using native varieties, the medicinal usage of native varieties. So that kind of value is there. So all forms of, I guess every plant has a role to play in the ecosystem. So I'm not saying, no, not putting down the local native bamboo plants. There definitely is a value in it, but not in the construction or the furniture making sense. But of course, in any other things, it can be used. Okay, so the varieties we found in Sri Lanka, so there was mainly these found in terms of the edible ones. The Dendrocalamus asper is the main one that we found, but of course we couldn't really, I haven't met anyone who's actually using who's kind of like using some like for as an edible product. But from what I have heard, it's mainly in places close to Pilimatalawa. I have heard that it is available. Maybe if you actually, maybe some of you might actually know, if it is available as well. And if any of you all know as well, it would be great to kind of like catch up and kind of share that as well. We can definitely, these edible bamboos are very much of a interesting mix because it doesn't just serve one purpose of fixing bamboo problem. It's actually even from agricultural aspect, it's there. So if Vessel were to grow bamboo to expand as an industry, does Vessel have the capacity to grow enough bamboo? Okay, that's a very interesting question. So I thought about this a lot as well. And one of the things that, in terms of as an industry, if we look at it, we have a domestic consumption of timber, domestic consumption of paper, domestic consumption of different things like toothbrushes to whatnot. So as you said, we don't have the capacity or the possibility to kind of compete with a country like China or India, where bamboo grows abundant. Already it is abundant. and they have running bamboo varieties that actually, grows wild anyway. So I don't think we can compete with countries like China to export. But what we can do is we can definitely, as a industry that serves the domestic market, definitely I think it is good enough. And also, if we look at developing value-added products, then definitely there is a market. So I think there is, because you don't need a lot of land to kind of, we need a lot of land, of course, if we are trying to export as, let's say, flooring, as bamboo flooring or something like that. That I don't think is a wise thing to do also. If we are trying to compete with a country like India and China, I mean, it's with, especially with quantity, I don't think that's a reason, that's a very smart thing. But of course, we can stop importing things like that. And so domestic for consumption, I think there is a possibility. I hope I answered. And there's another question. Are there any bamboo-based craftsmen in Sri Lanka or any training provided? Yes, there is. So as I said, in Katubedda, and so the Industrial Development Board is working, and the UNIDO is actually working on this particular thing that you mentioned. The Ministry of Arts and Crafts and a few organizations in Katubedda, they are working on it. And bamboo-based craftsmen, it's quite actually it's quite abundant, and it's very much there. So it's I think we need to look at, personally my feeling is that we need to go one step beyond that, and make the craftsmen also kind of like, how can we make something that is so that is a lot more productive in our day-to-day use as well, instead of just no, not to put down the craftsmen at all. They're amazing. You need to have that, and they're doing some amazing work. And you can find them in there are actually annual events. If you are interested, let us know. I will actually put down my email address so you can get in touch with me if you have any further questions as well. Yeah, I'm not sure whether there was someone else who tried to ask something. So Pradeep, actually that particular place that has been developed, they have used, it's not completely out of bamboo, but they have used bamboo for sure, because the architect who's designed that is in fact, they are helping our friends at Unabambu. So the place that you have shown is actually quite interesting, and it's a beautiful place as well. But I think it is not in terms of the structural material. I'm not very sure. I haven't really checked the usage in terms of structural timbers and whatnot. It would be really good and interesting if it is. If it is that. Maybe I'll try to send. Okay. So that's my email address. If you guys have any questions, feel free to get in touch. And I'm hoping that we can create a we can continue this conversation beyond this meeting, and hopefully work to promote bamboo in Sri Lanka. If there is enough momentum behind this, definitely a lot of new construction projects will look at bamboo as a sustainable alternative. I'm pretty sure about that. and already, in fact, quite a lot of structural engineers who I've spoken to have shown their interest to kind of look at this a lot more and kind of do more research on this. So if you're a student who's studying in the university, doing structural engineering or something like related to that, would be very interesting to get in touch. We would love to get in touch with you. Even if not, if you're passionate about bamboo, it would be a real pleasure to meet you and kind of like see what we can do together. So, do we have any more questions?
Okay, seems to be there are no any questions. So before terminating today's session, I would like to take this opportunity to appreciate Engineer Vikram Rodrigo for conducting such a spectacular session tonight by sharing your illuminating ideas with us. Sir, your assistance is highly appreciated. I would like to pay my gratitude again to American Corner Martyr for joining hands and supporting us to make this day a success. We can't forget our president of Earthmates Foundation, Eranga Disanayaka, and all the other members of Earthmates National Board who supported us in numerous ways. In addition, I would like to thank all Earthmates volunteers, the participants, and all the others who assisted us in numerous ways to accomplish this event. By that, we are going to terminate another tremendous session of Earthmates. Good night, and may God bless you all.